Another other side of the story. Fairy tales with a twist. This book has 5 stories in it. In this video, we'll be reading about Snow White. Of course, you think Snow White was the most perfect girl in the world. Why, just look at her. But there's more to the story, and the dwarfs behind this page are ready to give you an earful. Seriously, Snow White was so forgetful. The story of Snow White as told by the dwarfs. Written by Nancy Lowen and illustrated by Gerald Gerlace. I love Snow White dearly. She's a beautiful person, inside and out. But honestly, the girl's got a mind like a leaky bucket. Here's the real story of Snow White and the 7 dwarves. My name, by the way, is 7. We dwarves used to have real names, but Snow White couldn't remember them. One day we came home from the mines to find our cottage door open. We thought we'd been burgled. But no, it was just a lovely little girl, sound asleep. In the morning she had quite a story to tell. "Hello," she said. "I'm Snow White. The Queen sent me into the woods, and a hunter was supposed to kill me, but he was nice and let me go. And I wandered a long time in the woods. I guess I'm very pretty, and that's why the Queen doesn't like me. I'm Snow White. Would it be all right if I lived with you? I love playing house, and keeping house for real wouldn't be all that different, would it? Did I tell you my name was Snow White?" Wow, did she have energy. Life with Snow White was interesting. She'd forget to turn on the stove. She'd forget to turn it off. She'd make banana cream pie and forget the bananas. She'd knit scarves that were 10 feet long, just because she forgot to stop. On the bright side, she laughed at all of our jokes, and she never complained about anything. Years passed. Snow White grew up, but she didn't really change. She remained her sweet, charming, forgetful self. Then, one day, Five heard a rumor. "The Queen knows Snow White is alive," he told us. "The magic mirror spilled the beans." We gave Snow White orders to stay in the cottage. She was not to open the door to anyone. We knew the evil Queen would try to hurt her. But Snow White quickly forgot. Twice we came home to find her lying on the floor. It was clearly the work of the Queen. The first time Snow White couldn't breathe. She was wearing a brand new corset that was laced too tightly. The second time she had a poisoned comb in her hair. All the Queen had to do was dress up as an old woman and offer something pretty for sale. Any thoughts of being careful went right out of Snow White's head. We posted reminders. We even wrote, "Do not open the door," in the syrup on her pancakes. But once again we came home to find Snow White on the floor. This time we couldn't help her. There was no corset to loosen or comb to remove. We thought she was dead, killed by a magic spell. And yet, days passed, and she remained as lovely as ever. "It's like she's forgotten how to wake up," Five whispered. We couldn't make ourselves bury her, so we placed Snow White in a glass coffin and brought her to a spot on the mountainside. We took turns guarding her. Thank goodness that's not the end of the story. One day I heard voices in the woods. "No, your Majesty, it's not time for lunch. We ate our lunch an hour ago. Don't you remember?" "Oh, right, silly me." Suddenly I was face to face with a prince. But he barely noticed me. He couldn't take his eyes off Snow White. "What happened to her?" he asked. "What's her name?" I told him the whole story. "She's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen," he breathed. "Those lips, those eyes. What did you say her name was? Could I take her with me? Now that I've seen her, I don't think I can live without her. What silky hair she has. Tell me again, what's her name?" I smiled. The prince reminded me of a certain someone. We were bringing Snow White back to the cottage so the other dwarfs could say goodbye. Without a warning the prince stopped and turned around. "Hey, what about lunch?" he asked. The servant slipped, the coffin slid, and Snow White coughed. I'd never heard such a beautiful sound. Out of her throat flew a bit of rosy red apple. Rosy red poisoned apple, that is. She sat up. "Did someone say something about lunch?" she asked. Yes, Snow White married the prince, of course. The queen actually showed up at the reception, if you can believe it. Everyone threw dinner rolls at her and booed so loudly that she ran away and was never heard from again. Things are pretty much back to normal now. When it gets cold outside, we're grateful for our 10-foot scarves. And every once in a while, we make a banana cream pie without any bananas, just for old time's sake. Fairy tales have been around a long time and often have many different versions. What version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs do you know best? How is it different from this one? How is it the same? Make sure to check out the other stories from this book on my channel as well. Links will be in the description box.